What's up, everyone? Nate, every day I'm hustling, and my co-host Pittsburgh in the house.
What's up?
We always definitely appreciate you guys coming and checking out the video. Today we're going to be talking about buying strategies now that the NBA season is slowly about the end. What are some things you're looking to acquire or do now that the NBA season's starting to close up?
I'm definitely on the buy mode right now with NBA. There's many cards. I just got done watching a video that Sports Card Investor was doing of players that have just completely tanked, value wise. Like, for example, Giannis. You and I were talking about how we were considering picking up a little bit more Giannis now that it's feasible. I believe it was 46, 47% that card's dropped just in the last week.
Yeah, overall across the board, it definitely went down a considerable amount.
Yep. So now's a great time to be picking up Giannis. I know some guys are still on the rise, like the Joker and Murray. It was funny because that was another thing. Sports Card Investor started off with, now's a great time to sell Joker, and then the very next guy he was selling is Murray, and those are the two guys both of us just cashed in on, saying this is a great opportunity to kind of cash in at their highest value. Yeah, so I think right now there's a couple guys like that you want to consider dropping right now sale wise, but for the most part, NBA, I'm buying, I'm gonna be buying just about every key card I can, especially the ones like the Giannis's that are dropping in value. Believe it or not, even LeBron is down right now across the board, which is kind of weird because he's still in the bubble. But once the Lake Show bring home this dub for Cleveland West, then then maybe his stuff will shoot through the roof again.
Yeah, I think with this year being that the season is going to be very short, the off season is going to be very short. Mm-hmm. I think that it's an awesome time to buy because with everyone dropping, especially Giannis, because of possibly going to another team or whatever the case is, his cards have fallen for whatever reason after winning his second MVP back to back, which is a huge accomplishment for anybody in the league, especially players like LeBron, Luka, and so forth. So I'm really shocked that his cards have kind of took a little bit of a dive because he's still young, he's still dominating. Mm-hmm. It's not like he went from MVP status to, he barely made the playoffs. Now they didn't go as far or had as great of a year that they probably thought they were going to have because of having aspirations to go to the finals, but overall, just of Giannis by himself, I mean, he had an awesome year.
I definitely agree with you there. I'm a little bit shocked that it dropped as much as it did. Granted, you would consider the fact that it's probably going to get a spike now that he's won his second consecutive MVP. But yeah, I mean, for just in 1 week's time for it to drop almost 50% that's a little alarming. But I mean, granted, Giannis is one of those generational guys where once LeBron is kind of riding off into the sunset, I fully expect Giannis to be, one of those top 5 players to be carrying the NBA into the next, leg of its journey once, LeBron rides off.
Yeah, it's shocking. I picked up I think it was a 2018 PSA silver of his for $34, which silver, as we all know, can, and that's not his rookie, but it still has some value for sure, but not definitely worth more than $34. So, I mean, just seeing prices like that drop, I've been picking up stuff like that. And also, I've been even looking at select rookies. Now, I've been looking more of the raw variation because anything PSA is going to be probably close to, in the 9 or 10 is probably going to be close to $900 or at least $800 to buy. So I've been trying to negotiate down to 4 or 5, which I got one guy kind of close and he just kind of stopped. We're pretty close on the number. I think he was at 550. I was trying to get him down to 450 and he just kind of quit countering me for whatever reason. So I guess that was his bottom. But looking at the numbers from what they were selling at during the season, those cards were $1,400, $1,200 cards easy. So, I mean, that, like you said, it's a huge drop off from what they were. So there's a lot of value that you can get right now to be able to grab these and to, even if I had to grade them, you know what I mean, at $20 or whatever, and boom, now I have a $1,200-$1,400 card during the season.
Mm-hmm.
And who knows if he stays in Milwaukee or not, man. That's another thing that excites me. Like, if he goes somewhere and has another, doesn't have to be a superstar, but somebody, a little bit younger that just needs somebody in the front court that's dominant, man. Like, kind of like what LeBron and AD are doing. Have a great combo like that. I mean, who knows what type of season he could have, and also team success. So
yeah.
It's going to be very interesting what this offseason is going to be like. There's a lot of different players that could be going to different places, or they could be staying put. I know one guy that I've been looking to buy is Brandon Ingram. I bought a couple different rookie cards of his for the last couple months, and I just bought another card of his. It's a Panini Prism Mosaic 9.5, which I already had one, but I bought another one for $57.
Nice.
So I mean, like, I bought the first one for $100. Now I'm buying this for $50. This is a guy who just won Most Improved Player
for a second time.
Yeah, was it the second time?
Second time. Yeah.
So I mean, he's growing big time in through the league. Even beating Luka, which I was actually surprised he was on that list, but he did have a huge leap as well. So he's definitely growing. I didn't even know he won it twice. That's even pretty awesome.
Coming out of college, his all of his comparisons were like Kevin Durant, and just like kind of watching the way his game is developing, he's getting a lot of that Durant aspects to it. So I'm real excited to see kind of where he's going to go, especially now that people have to account for Zion. You know what I mean? If he stays in New Orleans long term, it's like people have to account for Zion. So like those two are just going to be like a force together. And then with Lonzo Ball being like one of the top facilitators, in my opinion, in the league, I think it's going to be a nice spike for all their cards.
Even if he leaves and goes, he could be another guy that leaves and goes to another team and really like makes a nice combo with somebody. I mean, that's why I've been grabbing him up early, especially for what the prices are now. I'm grabbing his rookies in 9.5s, which if I could probably send those off to PSA and get him as 10s. And really make huge bucks, especially if he has another season like he did this year. I think he is someone that's really undervalued for whatever reason.
I think that the Pelicans may have the ability to match whatever offers thrown his way. I think they might have the bird rights on him, if I'm not mistaken. And I kind of just know that from 2K, unless 2K's lied to me. But I think the Pelicans will have the opportunity, like if somebody were to come out and say, well, we're going to go out and get Brandon Ingram, bring him over, they may have the right to like veto it and match the offer.
I think you're right, because he did get traded. He was in LA for 2 years and then went to the Pelicans for his third. So yeah, that would make sense. If they do that, then if they want to spend that money or whatever, then he's, I guess, kind of stuck there, I guess you could say. Or they could do what the Brooklyn Nets did with Golden State and do some type of a trade as well. So who knows what's going to happen. I'm just excited for this season to end with a Laker championship, and then basically in a month after, boom, here comes the season again, and that's when we'll see cards really spike up again. Which it's sad to see a Giannis card. I saw a Giannis Hoops 9 sell for $250 again, and I'm like, man, like his cards came crumbling down, but just because of kind of the, like we said earlier, like his injury and kind of what lies ahead for him. And a lot of people are totally off of basketball right now. They're on football. Football just started. The money of the pack of buyers that were in the basketball market has moved to football because they're completely playing two different games going on right now with the Lakers and the Nuggets, and then the Heat and the Celtics. So people are fully looking over there because the market has finally caught up over there as well, where instead of it being only quarterbacks, you're seeing other players start to creep up in value.
Hey guys, do us a favor. Before you click off this video today, make sure you go down below and check to see if you're subscribed to Nate. If you're not, make sure you take that red button and you punch it with your mouse till it becomes gray. And then you want to go and click that bell notification so you don't miss any of these show recordings, because we're going to be dropping them all the time. They're going to be epic. You won't want to miss any of them. And then go down to that description and make sure you click the link that says Picksburgh and go over there and subscribe too, because we're doing really cool content on my channel as well, guys. We appreciate each and every one of you. Stay awesome.